The first phase of polls were held for the Indian state of Gujarat. The elections were held in 89 seats of Saurashtra and South Gujarat regions, with 977 candidates in the running. 60.15% voter turnout was recorded till 4 p.m. After a campaign that often turned vituperative. More than 20 million voters exercised their franchise in Modi's home state to choose between the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress. The maximum candidates contesting on a seat are 27 from Jamnagar rural and the minimum are 3 from Jagadia and Gandevi. Prominent candidates include the Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, who is contesting from Rajkot West, the BJP State President Jeetubhai Waghani from Bhavnagar, the Congress's candidate Shakti Singh Gohil from Mandvi and Paresh Dhanani from Amreli. The second phase of elections will be held on December 14th with 93 seats in central and north Gujarat. Counting of votes will take place on December 18th. Now, the election is being viewed as a prestige battle for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and a litmus test for the leadership of the soon-to-be Congress chief Rahul Gandhi. The campaign shaped up as a duel between Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi and often turned rather personal. The poll narrative has changed many times, with issues such as the Ayodhya title suit, Rahul Gandhi's imminent elevation as the Congress president, and his visits to temples being raised by the BJP's leaders. Out of a total 189 seats, 16 are being contested in Patidar strongholds. So nearly 9% seats are being fought by wooing the Patidar community. That's the big story right now in India. The first phase, of polls are being held in the Indian state of Gujarat. The elections are being held in 89 seats of the Saurashtra and South Gujarat regions, with 977 candidates in the fray. Now, so far, 60.15% voter turnout has been reported till 4 p.m. Now, the campaign, of course, has taken many turns. It's a big showdown between two big players in Gujarat. That is, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the former Chief Minister of the state. It's his home turf. He's up against the soon-to-be named chief of the Congress party, that is Rahul Gandhi. More than 20 million voters exercised their franchise in Modi's home state to choose between the ruling BJP and the Congress. The maximum candidates contesting on a seat are 27 from Jamnagar rural and a minimum of 3 from Jagadia and Gandevi. Lots of big names in the fray, including the Chief Minister of the state, Vijay Rupani. He's contesting from Rajkot West. The BJP State President Jeetubhai Waghani from Bhavnagar. The Congress's candidate, Shakti Singh Gohil from Mandvi and Paresh Dhanani from Amreli. WION's correspondent Khalid Shah is joining us from Rajkot to get us the very latest. Khalid, of course, reports of EVMs not working, marring the first phase of the Gujarat elections. What are you picking up on the ground? What's the mood like?
Well, yes, indeed, the allegations have come forward from various sides that the EVMs are malfunctioning, but the officials are clearly rejecting these allegations. This is coming at a time when EVM issue had also been picked up during the election campaign. What is worth to mention out here is that the voting has been around 60% till 4 p.m. The final numbers are not out as yet, but it did look like that the voters in Gujarat really came out in high numbers to vote in this election, in which Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his prestige will be at stake, and at the same time a litmus test for leadership of Rahul Gandhi. We have seen how the Patidar agitation has really come forward. Hardik Patel, the leader of Patels, who has really rebelled and is going towards Congress party and has requested his supporters and Patidar community to really vote for Congress party. But we have to really see whether that will translate into votes. And there's also a bit of an anti-incumbency factor as far as BJP is concerned, and that obviously because of demonetization and GST, which has somewhat left the business class of Gujarat really in a bad state. And that is what makes this election a very important contest, because it's going to be a neck-and-neck fight between BJP and Congress here in Gujarat. We had seen previously that BJP had somewhat easy victories in previous elections. But here, until the last moment, the BJP is fighting very hard. So is Congress Party. So the ultimate result will clearly be declared through the ballot. It would be, in fact, worthwhile to see how the election will go forward on the counting day.
Absolutely. And we've seen, a turn in the campaigning rhetoric, so to speak, Khalid. It's moved beyond issues, it's moved beyond manifestos or absence thereof to a rather personal attack that's, or rather a personal sort of attacks taking place between the BJP and the Congress. Has that in some ways affected the way the voter is looking at this election, or do issues like the GST, like demonetization continue to, let's say, hold sway over the the electorate's mind?
Well, yes, in fact, these issues do concern the people out here. The electorate are, in fact, taking these factors also into consideration, and people are on the ground also reacting to these issues. It is indeed the talk on the ground that people are discussing the low-level kind of discourse that this election really has seen, the campaigning as it was coming to an end. But it's also important to mention that there are other predominant issues which are overarching these smaller issues, which is the issue of development, Vikas being the main issue as far as this election is concerned. And apart from that, GST and demonetization also an important factor. But it will also, apart from these factors, there is a factor of Hindutva and communal politics, which has also come into play with the debate around Ram Mandir. And that is also somewhat reflective, subtly, on the as far as the mood on the ground is concerned. So that's what makes this election very interesting, because on one side you have the discourse of development, on the other end you have somewhat a caste-based discourse coming forward from the Congress Party. And to conclude with the first phase of the election saw the kind of language which was used, the kind of criticism which was used against Narendra Modi, and he in fact did count all the instances when he was being maligned by the Congress Party leaders. He did in fact yesterday, even today, make people recall those incidents. So clearly BJP is playing on that factor as well in this election.
Khalid, we've gotten a number of political reactions coming in from across the spectrum on phase 1 of the Gujarat polls. Let's listen in to some of them.
भाजपा को ऐतिहासिक निर्णायक विजय होगी। विजय के 3 कारण होंगे। भाजपा की सरकार के काम, मोदी जी की नेतृत्व, उनकी लोकप्रियता, गुजरात में जो उन्होंने किया इसलिए वो देश में गया और दुनिया में भारत का नाम किया, और तीसरा जो कांग्रेस के लोगों ने मोदी जी का अपमान किया है, जिस विभत्स भाषा का प्रयोग किया है, ये सब का गुजरात की जनता बहुत ही प्रभावी बदला लेगी।
विकास का मजाक उड़ाने वालों का जनता मिजाज ठीक कर देगी। गुजरात में ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे देश में ऐसे लोग जो कि विकास का मजाक उड़ाते रहे, विकास को पागल कहते रहे, तो ऐसे लोग जो गुजरात हो या देश के अन्य हिस्से हो जहां पर विकास का मजाक उड़ाते रहे, उनका मिजाज ठीक होगा।
मैंने पहले बता चुका हूं कि अभी तमाम वर्ग यहां पे दुखी है। किसान हो, खेत मजदूर हो, महिलाएं हो, दलित हो, आदिवासी हो, विद्यार्थी हो, व्यापारी हो, क्योंकि इन लोगों ने 3 साल में केंद्र में कुछ नहीं किया और 22 साल में यहाँ पे भी कुछ नहीं किया। जो मैनिफेस्टो उनके अगर आप देखेंगे 2002 का, 2007 का, 2012 का, तो उसमें कोई उन्होंने जो वादे किए थे निभाए नहीं।
छोटे व्यापारी जीएसटी और नोटबंदी से उनका धंधा रोजगार चौपट हो चुका है। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति एकदम बदतर है, और उसी समय पे कांग्रेस एक नया चुनावी एजेंडा के साथ जनता के बीच आई हुई है। किसानों का कर्जा माफ, युवाओं को रोजगार या तो बेरोजगारी भत्ता, यहाँ महिलाओं के नाम पर अपना घर, और उससे लेकर कई योजना जो है, खास करके स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं और जो शिक्षा की सेवा के व्यापारीकरण हुआ वो बंद करने का वादा लेकर हम लोगों के बीच गए हुए हैं। और ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अहंकार और असत्य के सामने कांग्रेस का सत्य का इस्तीफा विजय होने वाला है।
My colleague, WION's correspondent Khalid Shah is joining us live from Rajkot for more on the first phase of the Gujarat state elections. Khalid, if I can ask you, caste and class identity politics have also been center stage of Gujarat. We've got, of course, the Patidar community being represented, and at the same time, we've even got Jignesh Mevani, who is a Dalit leader, who is standing as an independent in the state. And yet, we've also seen class come into the conversation in a big way following the comments by Manishankar Iyer from the Congress party, and of course, the BJP's the Prime Minister himself, Narendra Modi, sort of latching on to that comment and bringing class and caste back into central focus as far as this election goes. Does it continue to be something that, let's say, resonates with the common voter as well?
Well, yes, indeed. As we saw the discourse of the campaign really shifting from one goalpost to another, we also saw the mood changing on the ground. As the Congress party wanted to go forward with that caste equation, the campaign of Narendra Modi really picked up after that comment which came forward by Manishankar Iyer. And that does, in a sense, reflect on the ground. There are two factors which clearly indicate that does reflect on the ground. One is that the people in general do acknowledge that the Patidar community this time around is going away from BJP. The votes might not be cast for the BJP. And that is an interesting angle. And on top of that, the elitist comments that came forward from the Congress leadership really gave ammunition to BJP to show that Congress is in fact elitist, and they don't, the people who are from the OBCs or the lower caste as they are called should not be really voting for this party. So clearly the discourse which started off from development really coming down finally to the old school politics of caste and class here in Rajkot, and it does in fact resonate on the ground as well. People do speak that the poor have still been poorer, and at the same time the rich are getting richer. The class distinction in itself, as far as the mood of the electorate is concerned, also shows the richer urban areas are somewhat very dominant as far as BJP is concerned. They are in fact showing a resounding resonance with BJP. But whereas the reports that are coming in from the rural areas show completely different tangent altogether, because the people have also been affected by GST and demonetization.
Yes.
And it is believed that the traders, the small traders, farmers are affected the most because they are not getting the best prices that they would want for their produce and for their products.
Absolutely. You mentioned the anti-incumbency factor earlier on, Khalid. I want to press you a little further on that. The fact of the matter is that Gujarat, after all, is a state of the business class. You know, it's well known for business acumen, and the trading community spreads across from, you know, lower sections of society to, let's say, more upper class as well. Have GST and demonetization sort of, let's say, trumped all other issues like class and caste for some people at least? And is that something that the BJP is concerned about? What has it done? What has the party leadership done, really speaking, to assuage the fears of the trading community in Gujarat?
Well, in the among the people who are doing small time trade, the factor is really very important for them. But as far as the rich and wealthy industrialists are concerned, they have not really shown any sense of resonance as far as that is concerned. There is in fact anger against the demonetization and GST exercise, but we have to see whether that anger is strong enough for people to really vote against Narendra Modi, for people to really vote against BJP. That anger really will be the guiding factor, whether the pain and anguish caused by the GST will actually be strong enough for the people to kind of vote against BJP. But at the same time, there are other factors which are in play out here.
Sure, Khalid. We seem to be having a little bit of trouble connecting with you. We'll leave it at that. Thanks very much for bringing us up to speed from Rajkot itself, from the ground. We're going to move on, but before we do, let's listen into some reactions from the people who are actually going to make a huge difference across the state. That is the voter. What the common person is desirous of, who voted today for the first phase of Gujarat polls. Listen into some of those reactions.
If we look at the numbers, I think day by day the numbers are growing. People are very much aware about their voting right and they are casting their vote. So I hope that even this year the numbers do increase.
अभी वोट डाल के आया हूँ और अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा। ये मशीन में बराबर अच्छा आया, कोई तकलीफ नहीं हुई है डालने में, बहुत बढ़िया है।